Why do you do what you do? It sounds like a simple question, but it kinda isn't. It's arguably the most important question any of us can ask ourselves as we navigate our careers, especially in the beginning. Without a strong connection to your why, you aren't going to have the passion you need to persevere when you inevitably hit a wall.
People say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true. And the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up.
Keep in mind, there is no universal right or wrong reason why someone creates, but that reason has to be true and genuine to that person. 5 years ago, when I started this channel, I didn't do it with ambitions to be a famous or successful vlogger or to make a fortune being a quote unquote YouTuber, but because frankly, I liked cameras. I took photos of my friends growing up. I wanted a new and interesting outlet to share some of my random experiments and creative ideas. It was never about getting a ton of views or to make some quick cash. I figured why not screw around and just make videos for the sake of being able to tell stories through my own lens. Fast forward to now, that first reason I started, telling stories that are authentic to me and my own vision, is exactly what continues to fuel my growth every step of the way. That's why even now, after all of the ups and downs, after all the late nights staring at a screen, all the investment and gear and resources, it never being about the money was and still is one of the best decisions I've ever made. That said, there's nothing wrong if your primary goal is to make box office hits that bring in millions of dollars. Just look at Michael Bay. He doesn't have any interest in making the types of films that you would see premiering at Sundance, and that's totally fine. He's clearly found his voice and his audience. He doesn't try to pretend to be something he's not. That authenticity has literally put him at the top, like the pinnacle of what he does. If you don't have a strong why or motive, that lack of authenticity will catch up to you in the form of burnout or lack of fulfillment or just doing flat out mediocre work. Some of this may sound really obvious when you think about it, create for the right reason, but in my journey, and literally almost everyone I know in the industry for that matter, there comes a point in time where it feels like the only path forward is to just do what the algorithm says, or to go where the money is, or to take on the work because it feels like the only way you're gonna grow. A lot of the time too, these opportunities can present themselves in ways that are really attractive. And sure, if you go through with them, you'll probably see some growth, but you have to ask yourself if that growth is in the right direction. Does it actually bring you any closer to your why? I think one of the biggest reasons it's so easy to get lost in chasing the algorithm or hopping on trends is that it's so much easier to create something when you have a template for it. And that's basically what you do when you do what's trendy. One of the biggest obstacles I feel like we all face as creators is trying to represent our vision accurately. And that's really hard to do when you don't have the right tools to bring your ideas to life. Speaking of tools, I need to quickly tell you guys about the sponsor of this video, Envato. It's no secret that nowadays the bar is pretty high and everyone needs a vast array of tools in order to create. Envato Elements provides millions of assets, ranging from motion graphic templates to stock footage, even music, pretty much everything you need to help you streamline your creativity. They do this all under one affordable subscription, so you can find whatever you need without having to chase it down under different fees or licenses. This allows you to focus your time on creating without having to compromise on your vision. And that's one of the most powerful things we can be given as creatives. For instance, the overlays, the graphics, the stock footage that you've been seeing throughout this video is from Envato. I love utilizing them in my work, film burns, those transition overlays. It's pretty amazing how much stuff you can do under one single subscription. Envato starts at just $16.50 for an annual subscription. That's all you need. That license will cover you for everything, whether it's personal or commercial production, even at the largest scale. In my mind, it's pretty much a no-brainer to have a library of tools as massive and useful as this in your back pocket at all times. So if you're interested in giving it a try, you can start a free trial if you click the link down below. Thank you to Envato for supporting these videos. Here's the truth. If you approach storytelling through a lens that's inauthentic to who you are and what you want to accomplish, then it's going to show. It's going to put a metaphorical filter over all of your work. And while people may not see that filter with their eyes, I promise you, they'll see it. Audiences have a sixth sense for bullshit. But on the other hand, if you are true to yourself, you will find your voice. And then other people will find your voice. And those people become your audience. There's an entire world of stories just waiting to be told, and there are people who want to see those stories told through your lens. If you're really lucky, your authenticity will resonate so deeply with others that they'll trust you to use your voice to tell their stories. That's how I went from making skate videos when I was younger to working with some of the biggest brands in the world. Looking back, there were so many opportunities for me to get distracted and lose sight of why I do what it is I do. Protect your passion, trust your instinct, and never forget why it is you started in the first place. You never know where it might take you.